onto this computer. Always makes me laugh, that recording in progress voice. I'm like, the Zoom is so advanced, but the recording in process voice is from like the 80s, some sort of sci-fi movie. You're like, this is what the future will be like. Anyway, so yes, I'm not in the Facebook page anymore, so you can't find me there, but there's lots of great resources there. A guy called Tom Evans is great on there. Pet Cat is really cool. So there's some great people in there. So even though my experience hasn't been great, don't be put off. Like, use that place. They're really good at promoting each other. If you've got a new course or something, go on there, put your stuff on. That would be a big piece of advice for me. Very interesting what your story there, Viola, about you making good stuff and you see people are making money. You're like, look, the thing is, you can make decent money there. I wasn't sure. And I really dug in probably around June last year. I dug in hard, and I was surprised how quickly it goes. I always say it's like a flywheel, which is you have to get it pumped up to start, and once it gets a bit of momentum, it's like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. You know, it's a lot of work to get it to the top, but once you get a little bit of downward trajectory with it, it ramps up quickly. It's like that inverted hockey stick. I think that's what they call it. Not an inverted hockey stick, but a hockey stick when they do like compounding videos. If you ever seen one, you'll know what I mean. And I just want to assure you, it's quite possible. Quality is important, like you touched on there, but quality of your voice, of the tech that you're using, like the sound quality, but also the quality of your messaging. And that's something I've been talking to the people at the back office about. And they were like, I probably haven't even taken it as seriously as I should with regards to how I construct the courses. Because when you look at the messaging a lot of other people use when they make courses for the general public, they're very particular, they're very scientific. There's a hook, there's curiosity, there's a big fall off on attention. So you have to make sure they are grabbed at the attention in the first few minutes of your first episode of your first course. Make sure that you refer to later episodes so that they stay with you all the way through. So there's some cool science stuff that can go into it. It's stuff that I did kind of intuitively, but not scientifically. And that's what I'm working on now, especially with people that are joining my course. That's what I want to show them, is this exact process of going, listen, attention is so valuable. And yeah, so I want to show you a few of those things today. But the point being is that $300, very doable. I can guarantee you a couple of hundred in your first month or two of working on this or working with me. Olivia over here, Violet, just to introduce you, is a friend of mine from a previous life of ours in the stunt world in film and TV, but we both kind of looking for other avenues. And I'm a little bit ahead of Olivia in terms of how long I've been on there. She's hit the ground running, so I've been working with her. Is your course out already, Olivia? Why don't you tell us a little bit about where you are with everything?
Well, I've been meditating a long time as you have, but I've battled to always find language for it. So it was a very scary step for me, but I've kind of had to do something with my life because I'm really injured. So Doug helped me and he's been absolutely amazing, like an absolute lifesaver. I already feel much more confident. I'm 1 month in now. But in the beginning I was like, help all the time. But he's been amazing and he's really given me lots of confidence. So I made the two first meditation thingies, the first two meditations, and then I did a course, which is really about deepening your practice with meditation and self-discovery and healing. And I think I've had quite good feedback from that. I don't know how many reviews or whatever normal, but the people that have done it have seemed to have really got it. So I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really encouraging for me because I really do want to help people because it's helped me so much in my life. So and I was a bit unsure, like, I don't know, people are just going to think I'm talking a load of rubbish. But so when people really get it, it's very inspiring. And so I put out one course. I've already written and recorded my second course, which is about elements and chakras, and with a bit of sound therapy in it. So I already recorded that. I'm just busy editing, and that's why I was 2 minutes late. And yeah, and then I've written a lot of little short ones. And some in this course are quite a bit longer, like half an hour. Yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment.
Nice, and I'll just jump on that. Olivia, honestly, you've done so well. Like you said, you've jumped in. And what you touched on there, similar to me, what got me started, or what got me really going with Insight Time is I had a good why. And that seems to be an essential part of it because it takes a lot of effort, like I say, to push that boulder up the hill before it gets some steam. And if you've got a good why, you'll keep showing up because there's a lag time between the work you do and when you get paid. So, for instance, Olivia's done this course that's come out this month, but she'll see that money only in May. So this will run from March to April, and then that pay slip will come about closer to May. So there's this lag time. And I heard a great thing from Alex Hormozy about being patient. And he says, being patient, often people think it's a virtue, but actually being patient is just finding something else to do while you wait, which is a big part. One second, I've got cats that are trying to get in their favorite place. Here we go. There we go, boy.
I'll have to check your courses out, Olivia. I'm going to write down your name.
Yeah, honestly,
there's only one, so it's not that hard to find.
But Olivia in less than a month has set up a profile, put on free tracks, got them approved, and then made a course and released individual tracks.
And
So,
did my first 3 lives, which I was extremely proud of myself.
Yeah, she did 3 lives, and she did. You could tell she didn't. You know, she was like, of all the things, that's what she was least keen on. But those things, those 3 elements are so important. So again, she's got a really good why. She, like me, is trying to find a way to earn a living a different way. And it feels too good to be true that this is a way you can do it, doing something that you're passionate about for people you care about and get paid. And also, as people that like to help other people, it can feel all wrong. You're like, I don't know, should I be getting paid? You should be getting paid. Money is energy, right? You're putting energy in, you should get energy back out for sure. And that's what I've been focusing on is how do we deliver good value in order to get value back? Just to jump on what Olivia said about doing, she's done these snippets or these brief Buddhist. I'm trying to tell her to call it brief Buddhism because I love alliteration whenever I do my naming stuff. I like stuff that kind of rolls off the tongue or play on words. But I spoke to the CEO Luke Jordan this week, and he said, I asked him what, as a platform, what do you want from us teachers? And he said, well, ideally we want high quality content that connects, and there's a diverse range of subject matter that you're competent in. So don't just do anything, but that you're competent in, but also a variety of lengths. So we have lots of people needing lots of different things. So we have some people between meetings that are looking for a little bit of inspiration. So they want these 3-minute meditation. I thought that's so interesting. I only did that because I'd been told before a diverse mix of meditations is important. So I started doing Stoic snippets. There's that alliteration, okay? Because I had a Stoicism course. So I had these 3 minutes. I was like, I feel like I'm cheating. I'm only doing 3 minutes of work, and I could bust out like 5 of these a day. But those things fly because it's just a talk. It's about something I know quite well, and I just removed the friction from me recording. So that means in terms of how much I can produce a month, I am churning out good stuff. It's quality stuff, but it also means I've got the 3 minutes, I've got 5 to 10 minutes, I've got 10 to 15, I've got 30-minute, and I've got 60-minute, and I've got 90-minute on my platform. So it means if you come and you show up and you want to do a meditation, pretty much any filter you put on, I have a shot at being seen. So that's something that's worth doing, and that's what they're looking for as the platform itself. So I had a nice chat to him about all of that. Now, Olivia, if you don't mind, or Violet, let me bring you in here. Have you got any courses out at the moment?
No.
No courses out.
No, but I was thinking about that when I listened to your YouTube. I was thinking, okay, what would I do a course on? Well, I've also gone through loads of trauma, and I did put up a small record about trauma, about going back and finding your younger self. And that did pretty, I mean, for me, it did pretty decently, you know.
Mhm.
And I had a couple of reviews that were really inspiring for me, because I do want to put out stuff that I believe in and that I'm passionate about, and I am passionate about recovering from that and having a great life, you know. And so yeah, so I was thinking after I listened to your YouTube, I'm thinking I could do a course on that. It would take me some time to write it and all, but I could do a course on that. So,
Uh,
and you also mentioned Tom Evans, who I adore him. I've
he's so
taken
lovely.
him. He's
He's
lovely.
he's so
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I had a call with him pretty much as I joined that group. Now, Viola, I can't encourage you enough. Get that course going. Okay. In terms of pay, I spoke to back office. I spoke to Luke Jordan. I speak to back office pretty much every week. I also have my own numbers where I showed you in that Excel sheet. The numbers don't lie. Courses are where it's at. Why? Because when you do a course, you end up on the homepage immediately, and you're there for 3 or 4 days. So you're discoverable. So when you normally have a
Ask you
meditation,
about that. Yeah, I was going to
when you
ask
have
you
a,
about that.
when
Yeah.
you have a meditation, you're in the mix with everyone. You may get shown, you may not. If you do a course, I can see now there's 9 live courses out today. 9 out of 20,000 teachers. That is a beeline to the top, which means you'll get a big bump of attention. So use that wisely. Per month, everyone should be doing at least 1 course a month. Like, do not. I'm not saying waste your time because that's not a correct use of language. Andre, firstly, what up, man? Glad you're here. We're just talking courses.
Perfect. Sorry about being late, but
Hey,
yeah, I'm just tuning in.
good. Don't worry, we've got a recording coming too. So yeah, get a course definitely once a month, I would say. Don't let perfection be the enemy of good, and don't be good be the enemy of try. All right, because that's usually what happens. I've got this course. I wrote my first course over about a year because I was like, yeah, no, I think I could get more detail. Yeah, get a few more studies. Yeah, that's okay. Right. And really what was happening is my brain was going, oh, can we not do this thing? Can we make any excuse, even if it's a good excuse, not to do the thing? Do something, put it out there. We can build, but certainly some course is going to be better than no course. Okay.
Okay.
I trust everyone on Inside Timer, with the exception of a few, are not going to put something out there that they're not proud of. Most people are going to try their best. So people in this field generally are people that are pretty conscientious. So we can be too conscientious. We worry too much about it. Okay. Now, having spoken to back office today, I can tell you that the recommended duration is around 5 to 7 days, and it's around 15 minutes and under. Okay. Those aren't absolute numbers, but that seems to be what works well. What you'll see is a big drop off. Now, I did a 30-day course, which has been my biggest earner by far. But there's a trade-off here. The longer the course, the more content to consume. And just so everyone understands, because a 30-day course is 30 episodes, I'm leveraging more attention. So when someone sees that on the homepage, they watch hopefully 30. There's more chance for them to do more, but there's more chance for them to get bored and drop off. Okay, because that's human nature. So my course actually started by saying, I'm telling you now, 75% of you will not make it to the end of this course. So when you get to the end, if you're in the 25%, send me a message saying I'm in the 25%. So I kind of made it a challenge. But what I'm also doing then is calling you to the end. Like I'm pushing you to the end. But even then, there's a huge drop off. So 5 to 7 days seems to work pretty well. Okay. So try get something else. Start with something you're familiar with that you can talk on. And my personal preference is to script it out, because when I script it out, it flows a lot better. I script the whole thing out, and then what I used to do is do an episode, go record it, and then I'm like, what did I say last time? And when I script it out, I can see everything, and then you can get really clever and go, what if I call to this over there, and what if I say this over here, and then this will call. You can become an architect of your storyline, and you look slicker like that. So my advice would be make sure you're doing at least 1 course a month, and spend a bit of time scripting it. Make it as good as you can, but don't let it drag on. Okay, we don't have endless amounts of time. The other thing I would say is repurpose what you have already. Okay, you've said you've got some episodes which people already like. don't be shy to do that. You get a lot of this. People don't mind hearing the same thing. Some people, how many YouTubers or podcasters do you listen to who spin the same story over and over again? Olivia was telling me about her Buddhist teacher. You're like, I've heard these things 100 times, but I kind of like it. And we apply this when we listen to people, but we don't apply it to when we give it out. Okay. If you come across something interesting, say it. So that would be my advice for all of that. I'm gonna share my screen in a second, just show you what's happening in my dashboard. But Andre, do you want to tell us what's going on with you? How you doing? Say hello to the group.
Hiya. Can I just quickly rejoin before that so I can put my camera on because my laptop's just a bit fuzzy. I'll join with my phone now.
No worries. Okay, sound. We'll wait for you there. Violet, does that make sense? Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what I want to ask you? How do you become featured?
Okay, great question. So how do you become featured? One, I don't totally know. Two, the back office will choose you, and they'll choose you based on a few different things. And this is what they were telling me today. You have to have a rating of at least 4.7, and that will put you in the mix. And you have to have enough views on there. So what happens is they make these playlists. These are curated, and that's what I was asking today. Is it an algorithm or is it curated? It's actually someone in the back office that is going to go, we're going to do things on mornings. So Olivia's got a morning meditation. That one's doing really well. That's 4.9. Yeah, put it on there. Now, I've been on there 2 or 3 times, and the difference, yeah, from 30 views a day, 300, like that.
Wow.
It bumps you up. So it's hard to plan for that, is my only issue with that. So I don't like to build things I can't control into my plan. What I can control is how much content I put out a month and how I streamline that content with what is being asked of me. So if you go to the homepage, you'll actually see on the Insight Timer app, if you go more, it'll show you mornings, sleep, breath, and maybe 1 or 2 others. Those are the reason those are on the homepage is because they are big hitters. Those are big topics. Now you got to be careful of Red Sea markets and Blue Sea markets. Okay, a Red Sea market is full of fish but full of boats, highly competitive. All right, that's what you're in there. Blue Sea markets, not many boats, not many fish, but it's a little bit easier to navigate. So it's getting that balance right. So if you do something about sleep, everything on sleep does very well on Insight Timer. Tom Evans had a great quote, which was, for an app all about awakening, everyone seems to want to go to bed. So, which is just such a clever, like, he's one of the OGs, he's been on there for ages. So yeah, so to be featured, you just have to have a body, and the more you have on there, the more likely you are to be. Again, I don't build it into my plan because I can't control it. I want to use what I can control. Where's my book? Yeah. Now, this book I make all my notes in. I actually found the page when I was on a film last year called Head of State. I was sitting there and I was like, something's going to change, man. I can't do this anymore. I like, my knee hurts. I'm bored on set. I'm got a stupid wig on. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And Andre, just to put you in the picture, I work in film and TV. So when you hear that, you may go like, wait, what? What did I miss in the story?
No, I'm reading your bio about being a stuntman.
Cool.
I was like, okay.
I was like, otherwise that is not going to land well. You're like, what's happening? What calling on? So I wrote it and I was like, hey, I'm gonna make some smart goals for myself. And when it came to Insight Timer, I put down 10x the amount of content I put on by the end of the year. By the end of the year, I actually ended up 100xing what I had on there. But that 10x was the start for me to go, that I can control. I can't control how many people listen to it. I can't control how much I put out there. So that's what I focused on. I just had that goal. Because quite often people have goals, I want this many listens. You don't have control over that. And the Stoic principle will be, if you can't control it, do not waste your energy. Because you'll feel bad like when you don't hit it, and you don't have full control. There's many factors that play a part. Anyway, Andre, do you want to just tell us what's going on with you? How's your Insight Timer journey going at the moment? How was jiu-jitsu last night? Did you armbar now?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu was great last night. Kind of damaged my elbow, so I'm gonna take it easy and not go tomorrow. But my journey on Insight Timer, I guess it started in around November December. Luckily, I started creating meditations maybe in January, and I just came across a fellow insight timer on YouTube because that's where I was initially putting my content. And she just advised to me, like, hey, have you seen Insight Timer? We just had like a really good connection on YouTube, and then we just started emailing each other. And she made me aware of it, and then I saw a website. She's kind of got her courses set up over there, which seemed really good because I'd never seen any courses at the time. I was very new to the space. So then I just started to kind of repurpose some of my content on Insight Timer, but mine have been quite straight to the point. I haven't got to the point where I feel like I'm quite capable to do a live, but it's something that I would definitely work myself up to. And as I said, I've just been putting out 3 tracks until you've mentioned recently. So I've loaded up 2 more premium tracks, which is hopefully they get approved. So I appreciate that heads up. But yeah, the views have been quite stagnant for sure, very low, I would say, you know, in between the 0s to 100. And then as you mentioned, I think I've done a morning meditation and that did really well. And that's like just kind of, you know, gained me a fair few amount of followers and, you know, just more traction. And I've had a fair few donations just off that one track, which is like, whoa, okay, so there's some legs here. But more than anything, I guess I have a bit of a business background to some degree. It's quite all over the place, to be honest. But initially, I didn't want to come into this space with the kind of business mindset of like, okay, analytics, how can I A/B test this to make sure I'm growing at this rate? But at the same time, obviously, you have financial goals and you want to get somewhere and you want to really make an impact and share your experience with the world and whatnot. So it kind of plays into some degree, but I'm trying not to make sure it takes over. But I wouldn't mind having the key cornerstones that allow me to steer the ship, which I feel like you're giving out, which is amazing. That's why I've tuned in and I've joined school. And but yeah, that's kind of been my journey. So it's really trickling, really quite slow. But then, as you said, I've tried a morning meditation, which has gone very well. And I guess I want to keep it still. I guess I'm going to be doing battle in the blue sea to some degree. I think there's blue sea, is that way it's quite scarce, but
That's
you know,
right.
but I do want to make sure I'm in the Red Sea at times just to kind of have a heartbeat to some degree. But because it's unique to me, and hopefully if someone connects with me, then they want to be in, I guess, my somewhat of a circle. But yeah, I'll add as I go along and iterate. But as you said, I guess I need to start creating courses and then structuring that and then gaining a bit more confidence to do a live. I mean, I do a lot of food content, so my face is all over the internet in that sense. But I guess this is like a subsection of my life that people wouldn't know about. So if they stumbled across this, they'd be like, what? This guy does meditations and whatnot. But obviously we're all multifaceted beings. So sorry for rambling so much, but yeah, that gives you a bit of insight.
No, man, Andre, I love it. I can sympathize, my friend, as a stunt guy who kept my meditations private, like as a secret. That's probably the biggest thing in the way of my Inside Time journey was me not having the conviction to share what I'm doing. And I my nickname, the Downward Doug, came from the fact that stunt guys used to mock me for doing yoga as a stunt guy because that was an anomaly, right? And then it became a term of endearment. But at first, it was like a, you know, you're not one of us kind of thing. So I was always apprehensive to show this side of me. But what I can say is this is who I am. And the more I'm embracing it, the more it's embracing me back. Now, just to let you know, talk about being scared of lives. All right. Olivia here, before you jumped on, she didn't want to do a live. She's gone live 3 times. Olivia, just tell them about your experiences with the lives so far, both how you felt and the result.
Well, see, meditation, I'm confident in, but my issue, I also have a traumatic brain injury, so communicating is the hard part. But actually, this insight, like writing the course and stuff, have helped me to start finding my own language, which has really been good. But it's one thing when you record and I have it scripted and there's loads of mistakes, but you know, you can edit it out. But it's another thing live. And then I'm like, oh God, what happens? People think I'm an idiot and all that stuff. or maybe they don't understand what I'm talking about because my meditation's quite deep. So anyway, Doug was great and he gave me a bit of courage. And I just thought, bugger it, I'm just going to do it. And the first one, the live was at 2 p.m. and I woke up in the morning and I was so nervous the whole day. I had to do a 40-minute meditation before to try and ground myself.
Wow.
But I just did it. And I mean, people can't really see if you're nervous, can you? And I just allow myself to be nervous. I thought, just be nervous and just get on with it. So it was all right. And then it was quite nice. And then Doug came on to the second one, which I did a couple of days later. I was less nervous, so it was better. And then he gave me a few tips, which really made a big difference in my third one. The third one was only supposed to be 15 minutes, but I yabbered on for like 14 minutes. And then I thought, okay, I better go now because I felt so comfortable. And then people were asking lots of questions. And then I really enjoyed like connecting with them and talking what inspires me. So yeah, I've got another one on Tuesday. I'm going to do one once a week. So I do it, and it makes a very big difference, like with the amount of people that suddenly follow you and watch your listen to your tracks and do your course, like a huge amount of difference. So
Wow.
I definitely do recommend it.
Interesting. Okay, that's amazing. Thanks for your account.
Yeah,
Okay.
and worth noting with Olivia, her first one that we did together, the tech didn't work, the camera wasn't working, the sound didn't work, and it was like
Yes, I forgot about that.
all of the biggest. But this is what's amazing. You know, that may have been one of your biggest fears back then. You didn't even remember it now.
Yeah.
That's the difference 3 can make. So, Andre, I would say go on there, use that as an opportunity. It's not going to be your money spinner. I would say for 99% of people, they're not going to make any money on there. That's okay. For reach, it's incredible. For connecting to your people, it's incredible. For market research, for you, it's incredible. Why? Because how you're going to do well on this platform is providing value to the end user and providing value to the platform. And there's this lovely holy trinity between those 3, where you make a great meditation or course that enriches someone's life, that makes them want to use Insight Timer more, which makes you money, which then makes you want to help someone else, which makes them come into the app. Do you see how this, when that starts working, it's beautiful when you're adding value, and that's what the focus needs to be. It shouldn't be money focused, be value focused, and the money will be the byproduct of that. Okay. Saying that, there are ways to streamline your energy so that you're not wasting energy, spilling it over to the side. That's why I reached out to you, Andrea, and said, enough with the free stuff now. Your stuff is good. And Viola and Olivia, if you listen to Andre's stuff, he does almost soundscaping. So you've got this lovely, calm, soothing voice over music, and he says, let's go on a journey together, and you start to hear like footsteps on gravel, like, and I was like, oh. So it's worth knowing, when I talk about Red Sea and Blue Sea, you can be in an unniched market and you yourself can be the niche because of the way you do it, the way you deliver it. So that's worth knowing too. Okay. I'm trying to think of other things Backup said to me today too. Yeah, you said the morning one really took off. Again, that's coming back to that homepage. They are looking for stuff like that because in turn, people on the platform are looking for those. In my YouTube videos, I share with you guys the top search things, all right? And always, even if that's not going to be your main subject, find a way to bring that in. Okay, so here's a meditation about feeling confident. Change 2, here's your morning confidence boost. Okay, one change puts you now in that bucket that is highly searchable. All right, so let me just get, where did I put Insight Timer Pro? There you go. Yeah, so here we go. So currently the situation on Insight Timer is, and Andre, this should be more motivation, and Viola, to make this course. Currently, this is the setup. 50-50 split on revenue. Insight Timer take 50%. The other 50% is a pie that all of us get to share. Okay. Of that pie of 50%, 75% of the revenue allocated, let's call that 100 of that $100 that comes to the teachers. $75 is for plays. All right. Only 25 is for engagement. But here's the rub. Not many teachers are doing courses, and even fewer teachers are getting engagement. So if you can get engagement, you're into the blue sea world. So although there's less revenue, there's a smaller pie, there's also less people at the table. Whereas with plays, every teacher has got plays going on. But can you move your students, can you move your listeners to interact with you? And if the answer is yes, now you're into money. Okay. So, and let me show you something for the moment. Excuse my screen. This anyone with strong feelings of ADHD is going to see my screen and go, you see those tabs, just hundreds of tabs. It's like my mind. It's like,
I have windows of tabs.
Yeah, windows on windows on windows. What was I doing again? I just came to check the time. Wow. Okay. So when we look somewhere like this, okay. So my 30-day challenge isn't even my best performing. However, it is my my biggest earner for the simple reason of this number here, 203. Now, currently they pay a rate of around $20 per question. So this is a $4,000 course straight away because I've encouraged 203 people to talk to me. So that's the power of the courses. Okay, now the courses themselves, so here's the Stoicism one. If you can get people to listen to it and stick with it, this is quite unusual. The Stoicism one is just like a flat graph, which is really unusual. So somehow that's become evergreen. I don't know why, but this will be like a more typical graph that you see like that. That's far more typical. So if I show you weekly, you see like big bump on that homepage and then slow drop off as you go on. The courses are great because it has this engagement section, and now they currently have an AI tool to answer all of this for you. I'm not sure how I feel about that at the moment. Obviously, it speeds things up. But for instance, look, like someone's taken the time to write to you about their 75th birthday. Like these are your people, you know. So I want to get to know them. And I especially want to get to know Katie has like been showing up. Mary's another one that's there all the time. Where's Mary? Mary's not here, but there you go. Because she finished it. She was one of them. She was the first person to finish it. Mary, Gablin, Mary, Katie, Mary. So there's a subsection of your audience that's going to be like your diehards. Like look after them. You know, they are important to you for many reasons. They're going to be the people that support you. Some of my listeners came to Olivia's live, and like I'm so glad because I said on your live, you're going to need someone in the audience to let everyone know, let you know if they can see and hear you. And the girl that does it for me is Michelle. And I logged into Olivia's live and Michelle was there and she was like, oh, hey, I'll help. And I was like, oh my God, like they're lovely people, you know, to look after them. Something I've started doing too now is give people shout outs in my meditations. So I'll go like, I've just done one for Mary. I'm like, Mary, thank you so much for your support. This one's for you. And again, what you're trying to do is incentivize the behavior you want in your audience. You know, that someone supports you. But you can only do that, Andre and Viola, if you have a course, because it's much harder for people to interact with you. Here, rating reviews, people can leave you reviews, but there's no dialogue. So for instance, Mary found a way to do it actually. There she is again. See what I'm saying? Just like classic Mary stuff, yeah. I'll write to her here, but if I ask her a question and say, hey, you know, how are the lungs doing now with long COVID? She can't answer here unless she goes back and edits her review. So it becomes one-way traffic of communication. You should still do it. You should still reply to all these people. But if you want to create a community, that's going to be in your courses. All right, that's going to be here. I'm gonna be all over the place because this is not a set curriculum. You know, that's what I'm doing with the people that start with me tomorrow. And by the way, if anyone wants to join, you're welcome. Olivia will be there, and we're going to build you out a course in the next 4 weeks. So from scratch, how we choose the title, how we write it in a very specific way so that you don't just have a course at the end, but you also have meditations. So you repurpose your work. There's a very clever way in which you can write things so that you do the work once and you get paid multiple times. Then we'll also set it up so that you can maximize connection and maximize revenue as a result. And we'll talk about recording, best practices, mics to use, different warm-ups, and then how you promote your course to maximize engagement for when it comes. So if you want to join that, that starts tomorrow, but that is a paid thing. So I'm happy to answer questions about that. But what I'm saying is that those are curriculum courses. So there'll be like a subject and I'll have slides, but this is like a, just stick with my brain, like the tabs there, they're all over the place. Okay. So here you can see how to bloom this spring. So speak to back office. They say to me today, what you need to realize is that when it comes to indexing your stuff and discoverability, the title is super important. It's not like YouTube. So YouTube is they've got quite intense algorithm stuff. So it's picking up the tags, it's picking up the hashtags, it's picking up what's written in your description, it's picking what's up in your transcript. It's very powerful, YouTube. But on Inside Timer, it's largely your title, okay? They seem to be, the listeners, outcome focused. So how to bloom this spring. Beautiful language, doesn't tell you anything. Okay, so a bit of a dud. And you can kind of see when I go in here, this is kind of one of my worst performing first days. All right, now remember, when you go course, it goes, you get a bump with attention, you need to capture that attention. She suggested, Laura suggested that actually you change it to outcome-based. And I looked at my other courses. And what do we have here? Stoicism, a beginner's guide to happiness. What are you getting in here? Stoicism, happiness. Happiness is one of the keywords that people search for. Guide is another one I didn't realize. People love guides. People love happiness. I didn't realize, but people also love stoicism. Okay, breathe yourself better in 1 week. Very descriptive. What are you going to do? I'm going to learn about breathwork and I'm going to feel better through breathwork. Great. Next one, 30 days to the best year of your life. What am I getting? 30-day challenge. Great. Anxiety, anecdotes and antidotes from successful stuntmen. So be outcome focused. Use those tags in your title. Okay. You can use those tags again later, but use those. And path to purpose. So I've just changed this bloom one to bloom this spring, how to find purpose. I think I've called it now just how to bloom, find purpose this spring or something like that. I can't remember what I've changed it to and I can't click back in there to find out. 12-day of wellness. That's an interesting concept. You can jump on trends that are going on in the seasons and that will give you some traffic. However, you are also limited because no one in March is doing a Christmas course. So there's that trade-off. That's the blue ocean kind of thing. Hardly anyone was doing Christmas stuff. So during Christmas, I got a lot of attention, but then that's it. So yeah, so knowing these things, my stoicism one, again, D's not words. I went more flowery, I went more abstract, and it didn't sell as well. Okay. But if you have a course idea and you want to split it, remember I said 5 to 10 days is optimal. Do 2 5 days as opposed to 1 10-day. You're probably better off doing that. And you're going to get it on the homepage then twice. So you'll capture more audience. All right. So that's kind of my advice for that. Premium tracks, a similar thing. This is, you're talking to A/B testing, Andre. I spoke to them today about it because I'm trying to work out myself. Are the photos better of myself? Sarah Blondin, biggest kind of name on Inside Timer. It's just the same photo for every time. I think there's something genius about that because you stand out from the crowd. So if I do a photo of a flower for this meditation, lots of people will actually use the same one because they probably also use Pixabay or Upsplash. So there's going to be similar photos. If I put a photo of me, it's going to be unlikely that Olivia has a photo of me for her meditation. If she does, it's going to be weird for everyone. Okay. So you know what you're getting, So that's what I've been playing with. And you can see here, it also made the upload so much quicker because I'm just like, I don't want to, I used to spend another 5 minutes going, what is the perfect photo for feeling and being? How do we really give that feel? Like, hey, you have professional photos, just put them on there. Okay. And you can have one and it's enough. So anyway, but there's a cool thing in Canva where you can actually extend your photo if it's not big enough. So Olivia, do you know you can do that? Yeah. So for your one, because it keeps cutting off your head, you can extend
Yeah,
the
I just
photo.
did that because it kept chopping me off like over there.
Olivia, when she goes live, it's like Olivia from here down going live, and then I was laughing, but then I realized I went live and I was like, I've also got that problem. It's also just my eyes down, you know?
Yeah, you do need a bit of space above your head in the photo, but you can just extend it on an app or something.
Yeah. So let me just see if there's anything else they spoke to me about today.
Can I ask a question, Douglas?
Of course,
So,
please. I'm rambling, but I would love to help.
are you saying it's better to have a picture of yourself than to say if you have a record up and you use an image? I usually use image. I don't use a picture of myself. Are you saying it's better to use a picture of yourself?
This is all opinion because I can't A/B test it. I would love to A/B test it if they had the capacity, but I don't think they do. But I do think for brand building long term, if you're going to get people, and this is what I cover in my course, if you get people to know, like, and trust you, then I want them, if I've won over the goodwill of them, I want them to know it's me.
Yeah, that makes
I back myself that if I've made a connection with you before, you will come to me, as opposed to, I don't want someone to have to look at an image, then look to see if it's me. I want them to go, Doug. Yep, that's Doug. That's Doug. I know him. I like him.
okay.
So once I build that goodwill, I want to really use that. Any other questions? Olivia?
Yeah. Do you know anything about the groups? Because I'm not quite sure
Yes.
about that.
Now, do I know? That's exactly what I spoke to them about today. And they were saying they have found it's got quite stagnant. Groups are here. So you see, I follow Thich Nhat Hanh. This is really interesting. It's just people, but Thich Nhat Hanh is like the incredible Vietnamese mindfulness guy, and all people do is post that they've made something. So I don't know how well this is working for them, but I found it was interesting. So it's a massive group. I
Well,
had my
he's
one.
not alive, is he? So it's not like he can be putting stuff on there.
Yeah, but he's got some sort of management team or something that, but I just find it interesting that instead of being like a chatting area, it's like just people self-promoting. I made one ages ago, which I forgot about. You see, it's making me join my own group now. So I don't know if this is working great, but I put it just as well being in chats. But then when I look at the discoverability, Be Here Now, Rumi, Thich Nhat Hanh, someone could actually have started a Thich Nhat Hanh group, and it's not Thich Nhat Hanh. It's like it can be around things. David Jai's got one there, finding inner peace. Let's check that out. Into group, 7-day. Yeah. See, again, he's not actually showing up here. Like, it's lots of people talking about what they've done. I'm not sure how this works. I'm not sure, and that's not to say you shouldn't try it, but I'm having a hard time working out how best to use it.
There's also something where you can do live meditations on there. I think you sort of
That's
gather
right.
a group of people that are like-minded, and
That's
then
right. Do you have to do that through the app though? I think get together, meditate, ask your admins to create one today. Yeah, that's something I don't know about. It seems like a cool idea though, but is it any different to a live is my question. And your live is going out. It's almost like an exclusive live, I guess. But in terms of use of my time, lives are great because you get your regulars and then some more. You get the people passing by. What's great about the live? You're on the homepage again. And you're not competing. You're into the blue ocean territory because no one's doing lives. Especially if you choose your time well. Olivia, what did you get? You got like 100 odd on your first one, right?
yeah, something like that.
128 or something like that on a first one, and you had how many followers at the time? 15.
Yeah, only a few because I just started.
Now, can you imagine that? No other platform can you have 15 followers and then go live and hit 128 reach of, and that's the thing with Instant Timer, niche down people. These are people that are already sold on the product. They like meditation. They're just options. What I don't like about Instagram or even YouTube to a degree, although YouTube's discoverability is so good, but Instagram, you're competing with other people. Someone's doing a TikTok dance, someone's telling you about what they think about Andrew Tate, and then you're going to tell them how to meditate. Like it's people are not primed for your message. In Inside Time, people are primed for your message, and that's why it works really well, in my opinion. So I've actually grown all of this. I would say maybe 3 times, maybe 4 I've ever advertised anywhere for my Inside Timer. It's all been organic. Now, I don't think that's optimal by any stretch of the imagination. That's just how I was. I used to just do everything there. So if you have other people, the back office did also tell me that if you're bringing people through and graduating them to sign up to listen to your stuff, it kind of that becomes noted too. So for instance, if they listen to one of your frees and then they go across and go into plus, they kind of see you as a convert magnet. So
I want to
yeah.
ask you a question. So is it better
Sure.
to have, I have a couple of premiums up, but is it better to have free or premium? Is it better to have premium the way it sounds like it is, right?
In my opinion, I do a lot of premium stuff now, but that's because I had at one stage I had like 60 to 80 free meditations. And I felt like I'd done my time doing that. What Laura kindly told me today was that, yeah, that's fine, but if you want even bigger reach, then you're going to reach a different group by going on the free. Now, premium people can also see free stuff. So you may just capture a different audience. So, I mean, I asked her, what is that ratio? And she was like, we don't have enough data for that. But she was suggesting that every couple of months you put something on there. You know, it may also be that an idea that when you've got a new course out, like for myself, for Olivia, we've got new courses out this month, then I go into free and I make a meditation that signposts to that course and say, hey, I just want you to have a little feel of this. This is a meditation I made for you. It's part of my course, How to Bloom This Spring. Love you to check it out. Let's get into this. And it's signpost then. And again, people may hear you a few times and then convert. It's how useful that is. Like, I don't know, they don't have the numbers on that. So I'm a little bit like Andre. I want to do the right thing, but also I want to be business focused, but I want to be too business focused. And I'm trying to use my time as effectively as possible. I'm trying to streamline everything. So if I want to make this full time, I'm going to be streamlined. And I want to know that what I'm doing is working. So, but also I felt like the free is sometimes a nice way to get around the kind of meditators conscious. You know, we all feel bad sometimes making money from it. So like, it's a nice way to go, yeah, it's your charity work. You know, that's a way to think about it. But have evergreen stuff on there. So do some breathwork stuff. Don't give away your best stuff there for sure. Keep that for the premium stuff, but you know, have versions in there of whatever you're doing to be a lead magnet to come through.
You want to, also want to ask you, what if you have some records up that didn't get the best of rate? Like one person can give you like a crappy rating, and then I have like all fives, and someone gave me a crappy rating, and like it dipped. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the heck, you know? But which is fine, and they're allowed to do whatever they want to do, you know? So would you remove that record? Would you keep it up?
No,
What would you do?
no. Listen, your audience are the best, the audience on the market, and the market will always tell you what it thinks. Okay. So great example. I've got a breathwork practice. It's been listened to over 1,000 times. I have 5-star, maybe 2 4-star reviews on that. And it's called Morning Breathwork Boost. And a guy left me a 1-star review saying that wasn't very relaxing. And I had a knee-jerk reaction. I wrote him a message. I was like, no, you know, I said, I'm sorry to hear that. There's lots of other meditations out there. I hope you find what you're looking for, you know, and just kind of gone, this isn't for you. You are negatively impacting my score, but the numbers speak for themselves. However, I've got someone else who's come on, and I had multiple people come onto my stuff and say, Doug, could you slow down when you speak? I'm like a foreign language listener, and it's really hard for me to understand what you're saying. Valid point. I'd be a fool to then go, well, whatever, you know, get used to it. Like, I've got to listen to that because I'm trying to serve that, again, value. I'm trying to give value. So how do I give value? Listen to what they say. So one thing I've done is turn down the music levels. So I have an editor that he edits it as if it's a music track. Like, so the vocals and the music are like almost equal. And you actually, if you're gonna have music in the background, it needs to be fairly low. You know, your voice audio needs to be at about -6, and that voice needs to be much lower. Like, I keep it in the, it must be like -10, like at least. Like, it's much lower so you can hear what I'm saying, because otherwise it's not that enjoyable. So listen to the feedback, but be aware of where it comes from, you know. And then here's the thing too: manage expectation. So the name of your course should relate to what the episode is doing, which relates to what the course actually does. Okay. So this is what I learned actually from YouTube. People like Mr. Beast talk about this. The thumbnail and title set the intention. Your then intro should merge with those. It should not deviate. So that there's this coherent story from, hey, breathe yourself better in 1 week. The photo is breathing, okay? Ideally in the thumbnail world. We don't really work with thumbnails as much, but look, there's a point to be made that maybe that works too. But then my intro should tell them straight away, hey, welcome to this course. Great that you're here. We're going to learn to breathe better in just 1 week. I'm going to show you 7 different techniques to help you feel better at the end of this week. Those things will be this, this, and this. So there's this, like, I'm carrying them through and going, I told you this is what I was going to do. Here's me starting to do what this is. Here's reiteration that you're going to get what it is. Now, I would add, what you want to do there is go, in episode 3, I'm going to show you my favorite technique. So now I've also sowed the seed of curiosity. Why? Because I want them to get to episode 3 at least, because I know that the biggest drop-off is after episode 2. So if I can tie them into episode 3, they'll probably carry through. And that's the same with things like YouTube. The first few minutes are the most important. After you get them to about 5 minutes, they'll watch the whole thing. Now, we're not competing with it's hard to compare all the time because it's not exactly the same platform, but I try bringing those kind of tidbits that I see, because I'm sure there is some relation to that. So yeah, that would be the thing I do. Make sure it's a coherent thing all the way through. And then when you get to the end, also make it a journey that they've been on. All right, how's everyone feeling? Any other questions? You're good? Is there anything you guys have been trying that you're like, oh man, I just don't know about this? Or, like I say, under a Viola, as in starting, I mean, for you, Viola, it's the day going into the evening there. Today, if there's still time, start writing that course. At least just have the to-do list, write out the outline of the course. Same with you, Andre. Think of a course, think of a concept, at least get the points out, build it out, find a way to do it, remove friction from your recording process. You edit your thing so nicely, Andre. Just be careful that that's not holding you back. Okay, I don't know that it is, but I know for me sometimes the editing process meant that I was releasing far fewer than I should have, because I was getting so into the editing. So totally your shout. If that's going to be a brand, then by all means. But usually what I say is remove all the friction you can. Anything that's getting in the way of you getting it out, remove it. Okay. So it's like minimal viable option, a minimal viable product, your MVP.
I just have to tell you, this has been so wonderful. So much knowledge that you've shared, Douglas. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'll just let you guys know kind of the ideas that are going on for me. So this is something I want to do. I may do this bi-monthly. The idea eventually is to have a school group that is a paid community, which is a lower ticket. So, I spoke to a few people at like $50 to $100, and people, it's like a mastermind where we do this, but you get more and more teachers every time. Now, how school works is that whatever you join the community at, whatever rate it is, that's what you pay for the rest of your life, which is a great thing by them. So you can never I can't like pump up the price now. So that would be the idea, was that we have this smaller ticket offering. I want to call that something like Millionaire Meditators, for like business-minded meditation teachers. And then my higher ticket offer is this event that I do, this live event that starts tomorrow, which is get you to create a course that connects in 4 days, but over 4 weeks. So I go through slides, show you everything, then it hold you accountable, give you homework. Next week you come back. Have you done that? Great. Next thing, next week. And by the end of every month, what happens is you have a course and 5 meditations minimum every month that you work with me. That would be in the same community. So what you would have is this course running in the background. So if you're just part of the community, you can chat away, and that's really where the power of the community is. Burley, you'll say, I tried this, and Andre will say, oh, I did try that. Didn't work for me, but this did work. And Olivia would say, I went live today. And you go, yes, Olivia, that's amazing. Go live. Oh, don't forget to mention this. That's the power of the community. So that would be going on for the low ticket. The mid ticket would be the course run with me. And then the high ticket is one-to-one, which is what I do with Olivia and one other girl at the moment. But I'm not even crazy about that, because that's a lot of work. I enjoy it because I've been helping Olivia, but you're listening to meditations all the way through. I'm scripting with them. Like I'm pretty much on call for them. So, you know, I could probably only do 2 people a month doing like that if I want to do that properly. So we have these multi-level offerings in there. So that's what I would like to do, you know. So if you guys want to be on these calls, I would love you to be there. I'll probably still do a free one through this free community, but then we'll have a mastermind where we do more stuff like this, where there's a Q&A. So something like maybe we'll do the recordings in the free community and the lives, the Q&As in the other one. So I just want to be upfront about what's kind of my idea of where we're going with this. And my idea would be that we'd get so many of the community members on Inside Timer that you've got this really powerful group of people that are learning from each other like that. Because Inside Timer, although it's got 27 million users, it's got a very small number of employees. So their communication with us is quite slow. So for instance, I had that call today. Laura was amazing. Back office is always amazing when I talk to them. But we will probably learn quicker from each other experimenting than waiting for them to get the data. So that's where the power of community comes in. You know, you look at any community, once people start sharing information, like things fly, you know, and I want us to be like the Premier League of Inside Timer. That's what I want from the Meditation Millionaires. And then let's go past Inside Timer and say, what are other things working for you? Oh, I do this coaching. I do these ClickFunnels for evergreen courses. Some are on Inside Timer, others are here. But otherwise, all of us are like so disjointed. It's like, it seems like a shame that all of us are making the same mistakes at the same time. Like, let's make one mistake and everyone learn. Anyway, that's my little spiel on what the idea is. But
No, that was going to be my only question. So no, go ahead, Olivia.
No, you go.
No,
you
that was
too.
literally that was my only question that I wanted to hear from you, Douglas. Just some of the stuff that you said in the business kind of sphere. It sounds like you've tuned into Alex Hormozy or the Gary V's and whatnot. So you're very much switched on in the kind of same spaces where I've kind of connected to. But it would be just interesting to think what my direction, like would I want to do something in that same ilk, or would it be still powerful enough for me and motivating enough for me to be under this kind of flagship, and maybe would I develop a community? I don't know, but don't get me wrong, initially I want to connect with an audience.
Man, absolutely. Are you saying as in school you would like to have your own?
Yeah.
Because I think there's an opportunity where you do this. You have your Inside Timer stuff, okay? This is what kind of I'm doing with this free community that you see. It's kind of I'm someone, like I said, I don't let perfect get in the way of try, sometimes to a fault. So here I have this community that's got people from my master's degree neuroscience course. I got people that are meditation experts. I got some people, anyone I could speak to, I was like, you got to come to my community. And now I've got this like weird hodgepodge of people. But now I've realized my offering is going to be this. This is the clearest offering. However, Andre, Viola, Olivia, you could have a school community where you take courses that you've already made for Inside Timer, that you upload to school, and you say, hey, I make loads of good stuff. In fact, there's some exclusive stuff in here. And instead of just having it as a, how can I say, a static course, you have it as a live course. So Andre, you have your 7 days of calm with me. It's a signature course that I've built. This many people have listened to it. So for instance, let me just share my screen again. I'll show you kind of, was the idea. Where is my Inside Timer there? So here, so I'll go somewhere like this, all right? So I've got this 30-day challenge to have the best version of you. I would say, hey, why don't you come do this 30-day challenge with me? It's a live event. It's not just recorded, and I'll take the data from that. I'll take the recording, and then I'll deliver it live in 30 days. Or I'll do the Breathe Yourself bit in 7 days, and that would be our school community that you pay for to be in, or your free community. And then you say, hey, do you want to do this live event with me? I've had 4,000 people have already taken this course. 182 people thought it was brilliant. I think you will too. So there's an opportunity, and there's space for everyone. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you become then a PT for mental health or whatever your USP is.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know kind of what I've been thinking about the whole thing too. And that's just, that's a potential. And that way you can say it's $20 to have my stuff, to have my full back catalog plus exclusive stuff I don't release anywhere else. And then people also pay for access. So you can have the same stuff that's free somewhere else and say, what we do a weekly huddle, you know, where you come in, we have a group meditation, and then we talk. And this is where it seems to be important. You niche down and you say, for 6 foot men that wear glasses, you know, whatever
Yeah.
that niche is, and that's how you get in. So, but we can talk more about that. But that's what I would want the Millionaire Meditator Mastermind to be, is that place where it's not just Inside Timer where we go, guys, what are we going to do? Because we live in a gig economy now. We don't have to be going to work anymore. We can work from home, especially with the service-based economy. How do we do that best? Someone's done it. You know, Eddie Abdu has done it with personal training. I've seen that one of the top people on the school games this month is, I've got his name, something like Anxiety Healer, niched right down to anxiety only, and he's got a community. So watch that space. You know, I don't know quite how to use it yet, and no one does, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to wait for Inside Timer to pay you and you want to get paid yourself direct, that is an easy way to do it.
Perfect.
Olivia, sorry, did you have a question?
I do, just to comment on what you're just talking about. I'm not much for anything online. I really don't like it, and even social media or anything. But I do want to do. I really like. I'm old school. I like in-person stuff. So I really want to run some meditation courses in person, like 10-week courses, just to help people really deepen into meditation. But I think this Inside Timer platform is really good to get to know the market a bit, get an idea of what people are comfortable with. It's been quite an eye-opener for me, what I thought people were comfortable with and what they're not, and the other way around. So it's a good practice like that, especially the lives.
Yeah, and I would say also it's a validation process, right? This is a course I think people are going to love.
Yeah.
Or, you know, my stoicism was a good example of like, I just found it super interesting, so I made a course because it was feeding my desire for my knowledge on that. It turns out people like that. I'm like, whoa, again, a great example. You could go, and I agree with you, in live, and that's something I said to back office. Why isn't there Inside Timer IRL, London meetup? You know,
I
where
feel
they
like
have
there's
like,
a part missing in Inside
yes,
Timer. You know, to really go down a journey, you need a, you actually well, it's in Buddhist tradition, but you need a teacher. You basically need someone that really resonate with and that you trust, and you think, wow, this really helps me in my life. And this is the only thing with Inside Timer, I feel like there's that connection they're lost. Because if I do a course about healing and somebody's got, I know they can do little comments where I can reply, but there might be somebody that, just say I do a course for somebody, I really find a teacher, I find you, Doug, and I thought, my God, this guy really helps me. But I wanted to connect with you more and maybe do like private sessions or have like a really good conversation with you. I wish they had that platform maybe.
And they're scared to do that because it directs traffic away from their sites. But I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like the one-to-one calls, and that's why school I think is interesting, because you could host all of your stuff without the competition of any other teachers, and then that would be the upsell, would be, here's all the free stuff. If you want to listen to the courses on your own time, free. If you want to do this course but live with me, and we do it as a group and we go on this journey, that's so and so, that's this amount. If you want one-on-one coaching, that's this amount. It allows that ascension model, which Inside Time it doesn't. And I understand why they don't, but I'm with you, like with regards to that. Like, but again, I just think the live meetups would be great to go like, you know, this year we're going to be in London, Sydney, New York, whatever it is. And we're going to have the top teachers from there, and let's get together. Because I also think that meeting other people in person, like you and me, Olivia, we know each other, and that forges a much deeper connection than someone you've just listened to and seen a profile pic. You know, if you see someone interact and move, and that's why lives are important, because people know you. And something you said about the lives, you were worried about making mistakes. And I was saying to you, Olivia, like that really humanizes you. And when it comes to students, they're gonna like you because they see you, you know, and all the things, and make it as like, I always feature my cats on mine. You should like, I'm always like, just so you know, Gus is here. He's going to be making some noises. So just know that's him, not my stomach. And people see it like, oh my God, it's Gus. So, you know, like the imperfections end up being why people love us. You know, they're attracted to you for your strengths, but they fall in love with you because of your flaws. Don't be scared to show those. But yeah, I agree. There's something missing there. But again, Olivia, that's what I want to cover in the mastermind. I want us to like, let's work this out together. And like, you guys are the first on my life. You guys will always be free on that mastermind, you know? So, but like, let's have that community of people that are like trying stuff and forging a path. So people are like, oh man, those guys do it. Why? Because they do it together. Like, I mean, everyone knows how AI kind of works. Like chess is a great example. AI is running multiple models simultaneously to come up with the answer. So it'll run all the moves out over and over again and go, that's the best one. And that's what we could do as a community. We all run a model and we collate the data. So that's the power in the community, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So yeah, if you're watching the replay, by the way, join the community, get onto that. I had an idea of doing like the first 10 people are free, and then we close that group and start charging to be in that mastermind. But I would love to have like this weekly. Even for me, it's like it makes me want to go find out more. I'm like, oh yeah, let's see what else. Oh, I've got to show you this. I've got to show you this, Olivia. You inspired this, but everyone's going to benefit from this. Olivia pointed out that when you do a course, you have to put questions at the end. Okay, it's weird. After every episode, you have to put some quiz. They don't have to make it any sense whatsoever, but you have to put them in. You never get to see them as a teacher. Now, Olivia found out that if you go do the course as a Plus member, you can then go see their answers. And if you can see their answers, now suddenly that's amazing market research, okay? But it's irritating that you have to listen to the course. Listen to it. Olivia, cast your eyes here. Sort by newest replies. Click survey responses. Here we go. So what did I ask? What percentage of people can stick to a resolution for more than a month? So that was actually in the episode. So 60% of people actually got the answer. Amazingly, you know, like I'm amazed because I made that so clear at the beginning. But what's interesting here is look at that number, 322 responses, 38 by the last question. You can see that's the drop off. It's 10x drop off, huh? So, but like I just made these to kind of facilitate the learning and make them interested because they say that increases. But you could change these now and you could say, instead, what is the advantage of box breathing? I'm doing like a quiz as if I'm a teacher. I could change it to say, what type of breathing would you like most me to teach next? Boom, 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 boom. What does that mean? It means when I make the next one, I'm going to serve 69% of the people.
Nice.
You know, so that's huge that I learned today. I can't believe I almost forgot. That was like the biggest take home from the meeting today. So survey responses, check it out.
That's really helpful. So one thing I noticed, and I've got one course out, so I imagine when it gets to like the amount of courses you've done, it gets quite confusing. When you go onto the dashboard, it doesn't all, you know, with the course comments, or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't always clearly show
the red dot.
Yeah.
I told them that today. They actually made a note and they're going to raise that. The other thing I suggested is that they have something for, you see here, you can go awaiting. So I can see if I've missed any. Okay. So all awaiting replied. I said there should be one for all your courses and you can click on awaiting and just see stoicism question, 30-day question, because I think that'll help us answer those questions. So, but I agree, the red dot, I wish I could have shown you guys because I've been in and out of this so much. Let me just see if we get lucky. No. It's been pretty good the last few days though. So if you don't know what Olivia's referring to, Viola or Andre, if I have a question, breathe yourself better. If there's a question here, there's a red dot, like that same red dot you see there. So that'll show up and it'll actually show up here. It'll say courses dot, ratings and review dot, donations dot, and it'll tell me that I've got a message affecting me. It's hit or miss though. So if you really want to be sharp with this, you kind of have to go in and manually do it, which is not ideal. But what I'm saying is the last few days have been pretty solid. like they've been getting better. So they may have changed something on the development end, which has allowed them to make this much slicker. But again, you don't want to miss questions. So if I just show you, like when I changed kind of my approach to Insight Timer, somewhere maybe around here. Yeah, okay, can you see here? Nothing, right? And not making loads of money here. I'm like, what is going on? All right. Then I noticed that I've got a load of actually irritatingly, they've given me the same payslip thing twice. Yeah, here we go. Here I noticed that I've got a whole backlog of messages I've not answered in months. I'm like, oh, whoa. So I go in there, start answering, and that makes all the difference. Really pumps up, you see, really pumps up the difference. So that's why you don't want to miss out on those things. So yeah, I mean, a lot can happen. This is what I put forward this month. It's like, this is in a year, there's 45, and then a year later, exactly 12 months, $45, 4,861, like big changes. Yeah, that's where I was like, man, this thing is powerful. And I'm not even like, I'm not particularly big. What have I got? 2,000 followers. Like I don't have many followers, and that's what's great. It's not related to how many followers you have. Connection, make connection, solve pain points. Where the pain is, the profit is.
Congratulations, that's amazing. Well done.
Well, thanks, man. But like, if you went through these numbers, you would see every month a little bit more, a little bit more, and like I showed you in that book, I just put in 10x difference, 10x, 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 increase output, streamline, 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 and that's all I've been doing. So not a long time at all to do that. So what I'm saying is that it doesn't take long if you're consistent, if you connect, and you make good content. So that those are the triple C's that I talk about in the course. If you can do that, you'll save yourself a lot of hassle. Okay. And like I say, if you want to join the course, it starts tomorrow night. Come join, and we'll go through all of this by the end of the month. I'm hesitant with this guarantee, but I almost want to say you'll make at least $100 back that first month. Probably maybe two. I can almost guarantee, and I'll keep working with you until such time as you make the 360 pounds back on that. So if anyone wants to join that tomorrow night at 8, we're going to be kicking off. It may not always be Thursdays is the only thing, because we've got a live group. We've got Brits and we got Americans, so it's like, yeah. But yeah. I've also just divided up sometimes. If people can't make it, I'm like, we'll do 2 calls that week, and we'll go through, your profile, look at everything, do hot seats like this, do Q&As, and give you the curriculum. So just something to think about. Right. That's about it from me, guys. Questions? Yes, Fiona, hit me.
I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. So not to do because I don't think I'm ready for the course, because I want to be able to start looking into writing a course. But I wanted to ask you, so you said you were going to have a group like this that we could become part of a paid group. I would be very interested in that. Also to tell you that, so I've been a user on Insight Timer for the rest of the people in the group here. And I've been a user for like 8 years because I had a spine surgery, and that's how I learned about Insight Timer. And also that's how I found like Tom Evans, who actually inspired me to become a teacher and to start writing. And that's how, I actually Googled him. I'm like, well, how do I find this guy, right? So I actually went further to find the teachers, the same as you. When I found you, Douglas, I said, well, let me find out what this guy does. He's interesting to me. I noticed, like, I belong to a couple of groups and I kind of pulled away from them. It was got to be a lot of gossipy, and I was like, I'm not interested in this, part of Insight Timer. But I have got involved in a couple of Zoom groups from teachers that I became part of that group,
Yeah, great. Yeah, like a subgroup of the group.
Which has been pretty interesting. And I'm involved with an intuitive group and things like that. And I also have started a women's group that I do a Zoom meeting, like a Wednesday meeting. We do morning meetings, and that's kind of has gotten little legs as well. So I'm kind of finding out where my path is, doing meditations and I'm kind of finding my way by doing these sort of groups takes out of my time, but I'm learning from who's showing up as a repeat business, you know what I mean? So I'm so interested in this. I'm very serious about this.
That is
right in the course. So what would I do with someone like me who's not ready for a master course? Are you going to have a paid group like this?
Yes, and what I'm saying is because you guys are here on my first ever live, I'm just going to put you guys in. So you will join for free, and for life, you guys are going to be my founding members in there. So you can stay as long as you want. You can leave whenever you want, but you won't ever pay for it. But I'm going to then make that a paid group. So what will happen is I'll put you guys, as well as the people in my course, into that group. That'll be the founding members of the Millionaire Meditators masterclass, or mastermind, I should say. So you guys will be in there. We'll do Q&As with those people too, but they'll be going through the curriculum with me. And then if in a later month you want to do the curriculum, we'll approach that too. So I'll reach out to all of you guys just to put you into that group. It'll be called, like I said, Millionaire Meditators Mastermind. And you guys just come in and then invite your friends. But then, you know, as we get more and more people, that'll be a paid community. But yeah, absolutely. The other thing I wanted to say, Viola, is in terms of writing, we are going to cover writing in that course. However, I also want to host on Thursday mornings, but I may change the time to help the American group. I want to do a writer's course, not a writer's course, like a writer's session. So Zoom session. One big thing with Inside Time is that productivity is hard. And I know this is something people do with writing books. So multiple people that are writing a book at the same time will join a Zoom. I'll give like an inspirational quote. We'll have a little catch up. Hey, is everyone doing cool? Yeah, Viola, you got that thing? What's your course? Great. Okay. Music's going on, guys. Pens down. Let's write for an hour. And you'll be shocked how much you can get done in an hour. And especially when you do it with other people. So that's what I want that community to be. You know, it's all designed around streamlining, getting stuff done. And every month we get stuff done. And then I also want challenges there where you say, this is, you know, you commit, this is how many meditations I'm going to make. This is how many episodes I'm going to make this month. And I think what you'll see is that as Olivia posts her success, Viola, as you post your success, Andre, as you post your success, everyone will go, let's go. And then we turn it, you know, it stops being a hobby. Stops being, you know, we start getting serious, even if we do it part-time. And like I said, that's what happened with my numbers, is I just took it seriously. I just stopped going, I'll just do one at a time. I made time and I did it. And the rest rolled on. But you're not doing it in the dark, you're doing it with people, makes all the difference. So when I was doing it, I didn't know about any of these groups, Viola. Like I'd just go on Instagram and go like, wow, that person's doing really well. I wonder what they did. And like, okay, well, make notes on my phone, go record, and then go from there. But I've streamlined that process so much now that it's writing for a certain amount of time, recording on certain days, getting all the recording done, get an editor, send it to the editor, have this production cycle going all the time. I've always got one in the works, one just written, ready to record, one that's been recorded, one that's been edited, one that's coming back to me. That's how you have to approach it. It has to be that cycle of production. At your stage, don't worry about that. I'm just saying you're always looking for the bottleneck in your system. And when you break through the bottleneck, you level up, you level up, you level up. But that's why I want this community to be that. And I want to help wherever I can. And if there's people, like I've invited Tom to that group too, because he's got a lot of knowledge. I want him in that community because he's really useful. So, you know, if you know other people and you think they're a good fit, send them over. Let's get this going.
Cool.
I have to tell you guys.
Huh? Oh,
Who's
so, there's a Facebook group. I said before, Andrea, you may have missed it. There's a Facebook group called Inside Timer Teachers, which is a great resource for teachers to go to. Unfortunately, you won't see me in there because as I explained to Philo, as I posted more and more stuff on this and suggested we meet on Zooms, the admin just kicked me off and banned me for life. But you should be there because it's a great place. Like there's a lot of good stuff going on.
Why don't you start a new one?
Well, this is kind of my idea, like with school. So I was like, well, screw you, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're becoming the leader.
I reached out to him and I was like, mate, I think there's been a mistake, you know, and he just blocked me. I was like, again. So I got blocked from this like personal account. Yeah.
Crazy.
So, but hey, it's a great resource. And there's a guy there called Tom who was super nice. And the minute I joined, Tom was like, "Hey, welcome." And like he sent me a message saying, "Doug, you know, if you want to talk some more about what you're doing, we could Zoom call." And I Zoom called him. He was like, "Yeah, I think I was one of the first on Inside Timer. I've got some plays with over 1 million." And I was like, "This guy's like an OG." And he was like, "Yeah, you didn't get paid in the first year though, you know?" So he's a wealth of knowledge. But so go there, absolutely. If you guys have access, don't invite them to any Zoom meetings of your own.
He has his
Otherwise,
own page as well. Like Tom Evans has his own group called Soul something, because I'm in his Facebook group, and he does do a lot of Zooms. He's doing a Zoom next week.
oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does that out of that Facebook,
Mhm.
that teachers group. He has his own, which
Good
is
man.
pretty. You should join it. I'll
I'd
send
love
you
to.
the link to
I
it.
actually invited him tonight, but he's got family in town. So I just thought he would be a great voice to have on here. So that's what I'm trying to do. You know, me, actually, Olivia and I, just to kind of brag for the both of us, we worked on a movie called Avengers, like as in the Marvel
That movie
Avengers.
called The Avengers. I wonder
And
if you've heard it.
kind of a big deal in some places. Some people have spoken about it. Yeah, a little character called Iron Man. Anyway, we actually did Guardians of the Galaxy together too, me and Olivia. And
Amazing.
but I feel like this is the Avengers assemble, like in meditation world. Like there'll be movies made of this. They were like each had their own power, and they came together, took over the meditation world. So anyway, that's the idea. So if you know any
Speaking
good
into reality,
Avengers,
yeah.
yeah,
I have to tell you one last thing. I was born
sure.
in England, so I know you guys are all British, but I have family in England.
All
And
right.
so I am actually a dual citizen. I am actually British.
Look at her. She's singled out here, and you see she's trying to come over the pond just like that. You see that? She knows what's
I
good for
think
her.
it's so cool that I gravitated towards you, and you guys are all British.
Right. Hey, well, it's good. It's good to have you. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, myself and Olivia, we're from Southern Africa. Olivia's from South Africa. I'm from Botswana, but we both live in London now, and have done some time. So, yeah, we got a good little mix going on here. So we'll get Tom Evans in. You know, someone else, get them in. Like I say, we'll keep that group open for a bit, and then we'll cap it. So, you know, if you talk to someone, you're like, look, get in there quick. It's going to be free until this number. Let's call it 10, and then that's yeah. All right. That's all, guys. If any questions, always hit me on school. You know, I'm pretty good on there, or email me. Either is good. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you
All
for
right.
the invite, Doug. It's been
Thanks,
amazing.
Doug.
No
Thanks.
problem. All
Nice
right.
to meet you, Andrea and Viola.
Me
Yes,
too.
it was lovely meeting you both.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.